Hello, my name is John Burns from FinalCutProClasses.com, and today I would like to emphasize how important it is to organize your clips and files before you actually start cutting them together in a project. The first thing we're going to do is bring in some clips to organize, and we have a drive here, the project drive. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and if I right click it or control click it, I'll get a menu. And I'll say new event, and so I know that event will live in this drive, so I can take it with me on this portable drive wherever I go. I'm going to name this event Gambert because that's the name of the client. And now I'm going to click import files, and these files reside on the same drive here, and I'm going to click on them. And so when this import window comes up, being that these files already on this drive, I'm not going to copy the raw media into the Final Cut Events folder because I would just duplicate the media. If I had folders in here that I already made to organize, I can say import those folders as keyword collections, and they would show up under my event as keyword collections already made. I don't have any folders in here, so I'm not going to import folders as keyword collections. I do want to create the optimized media, the ProRes 422. And if I had a laptop, I would create the proxy media so that if I'm having trouble with playback with the high-res media, I can always switch to the proxy media for smoother playback. But right now I'm just going to create the optimized media. I'm not going to do any analyzation. I hit import, and you'll see all these thumbnails will pop up into your event browser. So now I have a bunch of clips with just MVI in the front and numbers on the back. And I want to start organizing them so that I can find things a little more easily. A couple ways you can organize. If you want, you can rename the clip down here. If I look at this clip and I see it's John's first intro, I'm going to click this and name it that. So now I have a clip named John Intro 1, and it makes more sense to me than just the letters and the numbers. And again, here's another clip, and I know this is John Intro 2, so I click that on. And I can name it John Intro 2. And again, it makes it a lot easier to find these clips when I'm looking for things in the event browser. I'll do one more clip, and this one is, I can say skip walkthrough. So I highlight that and say skip walkthrough. So that's one way you can organize clips, is just by renaming them. And you see how they sort of go into alphabetical here, and because of the way the event browser is being organized. So now I want to further organize these clips maybe in another way. I want to maybe put these in a folder so I can find them a little more easier than scrolling through the browser looking for the name through all the other clips. So I'm going to highlight the first one and hold the command key down and highlight the second one. And I'm going to hit the little skeleton key at the bottom of the event browser, and I'm going to name this John Intro. So I'm going to put all John's intros into this keyword collection. Oops, a little misspelling there. Okay. And you can see those words go into that keyword and into that clips, and it has a blue line indicating that you've already keyworded those clips. And you can see that the keyword collection pops up under the main event, and so if I click on that keyword collection, I can see that only the clips that I keyworded as John Intro are in that keyword collection. So now it's really easy to get to all his intros. Again, I can I'm going to move this window over, and you can see here that it makes the keyword, and the shortcut to put something in that keyword collection is Control-1. So if I had another clip that I saw in the browser, and I'll just say it's this one, it looks like one of the intros, and I click it and I hit Control-1 on my keyboard, that will automatically put that clip in the keyword collection of John Intro. So now I should have 3 clips in here, which I do. And again, it puts a blue line in the clip here indicating you have keyworded it already. So now I'm going to go to some shots that I see skip, and I'm going to click those And just as I see them in the thumbnails, I'm going to click that, hold down the command key and maybe that. And now I'm going to name this set of clips Skip, because that's his name. And I hit enter, and you can see that a blue line goes through all three of those clips, and a keyword collection pops up underneath my main event. And if I click it, I should see just those three clips in that keyword collection. And there they are. So now I go back to my main event here, and let's say that I see another clip with skip in it. Okay, I can click it, and I know that skip is Control 2 on my keyboard because I see the shortcut, or I can just hit this little button to put it in there, and it puts it right into the skip keyword collection. So this is a great way to organize, you know, if you have a lot of clips, into folders in which you can get to those clips a little more easily. And I'm going to do one more with Lewis here, and I'm going to click Lewis just on two of them. Okay, and I'm going to call it Lewis. Hit enter, and those two keywords go in there, and you can see Lewis pops up under here. And there are the two clips. So if I go back to my event browser and I notice, hey, I have another Lewis here, I don't have to make another, I don't have to go back to the keyword. I can actually just grab this and drag it into the Lewis keyword collection. You see it goes in there, okay, and you see that it has a blue line in it now saying you've keyworded it. So that's a basic way of organizing the footage in your browser, in your event browser. There's you can a little fine-tune that. A lot of times you'll have long interviews with people and they're just talking, and you want to start marking pertinent things that they're saying within the clip. This can make it a lot easier when you're cutting to find things that you know that they've said without having to scrub the clip over and over and listen to a very long, say an hour clip, and have to find it again. So being that there's no visual cues when somebody's just talking, you just have to listen to it. That can eat up a lot of time looking for stuff. So it's really worth listening to the clip first and marking everything out before you start cutting, because it'll make the cutting process a lot easier. And the way we do this is with markers. So I'm going to randomly select a clip here. This looks pretty long here, so I'm going to click it. Actually, I'm going to go to it looks like another one. It'll be a little longer. So here we have a clip, and we'll assume it's pretty long. I'm going to close out my keywords window. And I'm also going to put my skimming on so that I can skim these a little easier, like that. So we can see this is a pretty long clip. Okay, and it would be really hard if they're talking to actually find what they're saying by just scrubbing it back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
Wow.
And he says wow, and for whatever reason I want to mark that so I can get to it later. If I hit the M button on the keyboard once, a marker is being laid down, but it has no name, so it would just be named marker 1 probably. But I really want to give it a name as to what he said, so I hit the marker M again, which is just M on the keyboard twice, and I'm just going to put wow, because that's what he said. And I hit enter, or I can hit done, and that marker goes into this clip. You can see the little marker button. So now I go just randomly further down, and I play a little bit.
Stripes and plaids.
And he's talking about stripes and plaids. So I hit the M twice on my keyboard. Again, the marker window appears, and I put stripes and plaids. I'm going to hit done. So that marker appears in the clip also. So I'm going to go further down the clip, just randomly, and hit play.
And this is just the luxury of what...
Luxury. So now I hit MM twice on the keyboard. The marker window comes up, and I can put luxury. When I hit done. So now I have these markers in the clip in which I can find these places in the clip a lot more easier than having to scrub the clip. If I want to see these markers, I can switch to the list view here, and I'm going to go to the list view, and I can see that on the clip I was working on, 8360, is still highlight. And if I drop the little arrow down and scroll down a little bit, I will see the markers that I put in that clip. And the great thing about it is that when I click a marker, the playhead goes right to it. So now I don't have to look for that, and I can immediately start editing that area. Same if I click the stripes and plaids, I click it, it goes right to that area of the clip. And luxury, which I noticed I spelled wrong, maybe I want to correct that in case somebody sees it. I'm going to go ahead and modify the marker. Okay, and just change it to spell the word right. Okay, and I hit done, and so now I corrected myself, and I have the luxury marker, and when I click on it, it takes me right to that area. So the great thing is that once you lay these markers down in your clips in the event browser, when you edit in the timeline, they'll also be in the timeline, so you can get to places in the timeline just as easy.